Okay. So that was some unique technical difficulties, but I suppose we made it. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, world? Samuel Clemens coming to you. Um, Beauty in the Unity. I don't know, had a little ring to it, right? So I'm going to tell you a little story. It's 100% real, and I think there's a lot to gain from it. And again, it's just part of the ongoing conversation to broaden our horizons, broaden our thought processes, open the doors. We fellow Americans have so much more in common than we don't. And there's an outlier over here to the left and an outlier over here to the right, but I'm pretty sure that there's a large group right there in the middle. It constitutes the working middle class. It constitutes all sexes, all genders, all races, all religions, because most of us want transparency, honesty, unity, togetherness, companionship, to love our neighbors, to respect our elected officials, and to be more united and more together with love and listening and harmony. So here's the story. Friday afternoon, a couple days ago, I'm walking out of one of the offices that I'm affiliated with in downtown. As I walk out of that office, I basically bump into Calvin. Um, Calvin was sort of looking for somebody who works at the office, but nonetheless, um, I connected that dot, and me and Calvin just started chatting, and we were talking about business, we were talking about politics, we were talking about this side, that side, and the topic of the conversation when Monica was walking by was the party of Lincoln, and how the three of us believed that so many people who associate with the D or the R don't even know what they're associating with. They don't know the history. They don't know the current. They can tell the hate. They can see the divide, but they don't really know where it all came from, what it all means, and what it all stands for. So irony would be this: Monica is a lawyer who was walking by, and again, she decided to join our conversation. She actually stood about 8 to 10 feet away for maybe up to 2 to 2.5 minutes. And I was like, hey, Monica, you can get a little closer. She didn't want to impede on our conversation, but I absolutely wanted her to become a part of our conversation. Calvin was in the same position, desiring that she would join in. Calvin had noted to me that he's been a pretty successful businessman, but his original degree was in political science at North Carolina State University. So at this point, I'm talking to Monica, a lawyer. We're all talking. Monica, a lawyer, Calvin, a gentleman, and then me. I've maybe I've mentioned it. I mean, I ran for political office at one time, and I very well may again. I've been in lots of different venues and avenues of business and capitalism and marketing and things of that nature. So we're all standing there talking, and it is an amazing conversation. We are not all agreeing, but we are all allowing each other to talk. We are opening up doorways of conversation for each of us to grow and understand a little bit. Let me tell you some more, okay? Monica, a white woman, um, I'd say in her 40s, if that matters, okay? Calvin, an African American gentleman, probably also in his 40s. And then there's me. Monica mentioned in the conversation that she is an unaffiliated or unregistered voter. She does not blend or trend towards the D or the R. Calvin, very confidently, as he should, announced and communicated that he is a registered Democrat, and that he sees some of it, he likes some of it, doesn't like it all. Kind of the ebb and flow of we normal people. So we were talking for a little bit, and actually at this point I'm listening a little bit more. Monica had some great points about opportunities to develop the youth in better ways. Her law firm is associated with free legal counsel to people who are underprivileged and what have you. Calvin, referenced his wife and some conversations that they have had, and I'm sure I did also. My wife is my wonderful sounding board, my partner in this world, and just the three of us were like three peas in a pod. At the same time, we were absolute strangers. We were the complete depiction of the melting pot of the United States. We had different sexes, we had different races, we had different political affiliations, but none of the three of us left that conversation yelling or spewing ill words or profanity or you're wrong or you're right. We had level-headed, normal, civil conversation. I believe the three of us gained perspective. I believe the three of us gained some understanding of how other people think besides just yourself, right? So my point is that look for these conversations, have these conversations, spread civility, find the unity. Because as I've expressed with you fine folks before, and I did with those two fine folks on the footsteps of the business this past Friday, we have so much more in common than we don't. And if we can come together in these moments of challenge and we can look past the smoke and mirrors of the media, of the Twitter battles that take place on social media, and realize that in real life, real people have unity, and there's a way of being connected and not affiliated. There's a way of being civil and not agreeing. And I am just so grateful that I bumped into Calvin and Monica a few days ago Friday at the Footsteps in downtown. Three strangers came together to have a conversation. And what I left them with was twofold. I said, and the same thing I want to leave you guys with here is go find these conversations. Have them. Talk about these things when you're in public. Don't be afraid of it. It's America. Why would you have fear? Don't let fear be your guide. Let understanding and happiness and inclusion be your guide, and look for the commonalities that are so abundantly clear. And I also mentioned that the youth of today will mirror an image we adults of today. And where will they see it? Well, right now, it appears that they see it from the elected officials. They see it with the media, and they probably see it with too many of their parents and too many of their neighbors and too many of their fellow churchgoers. Look, I'm the first person to support and promote, to stand up for what you believe in. Not telling anybody to compromise their morals and certainly not their integrity. But what I am saying is be big, be huge, be broad, open your heart, open your mind, see the beauty in the unity, connect the dots when people are so close to the same page, but maybe just a paragraph or a two off. Find it, talk about it, bring light to it, bring your circumstances to it, shed new information to it. But if we just hide in our closets, in our homes, in our social media gathered like-minded thinking places, I believe growth and change, adaptation, positivity, and optimism are going to be really hard to find. Pretty much past my talking point, trying to keep your guys' attention for a short period of time, but go out there and make a difference, because this is my sincerity. One unique, challenging, little bit different conversation than you're used to has extreme power and opportunity to change the world. This was Samuel Clemens. This time I say thank you. I hope to see you next time. And if you like any of this, share it with somebody. All right. Take care. Stay safe. Love each other.